Welcome back to another episode on the Airborne Podcast of Raptors Trade Talks. I'm your host, Ajit. That's Big Boy Bravs and Thanos at the bottom. Breaking news. Porzingis apparently has been rumored to be fished around for some trade talks, but basically people are saying that the Mavericks are sniffing around to see what his trade value is. He is part of their dynamic duo that they created when they heisted the New York Knicks for Porzingis in 2019, I believe, at the beginning of 2019.
Yeah, 2019, yeah.
Yeah, and Porzingis, you know, they call him the unicorn for a reason. He's a 7'3" power forward. And this time,
he's a rare species.
And in this era of the NBA, he could play the 5, could play the 4, play some decent defense. But he's known for his offense. Obviously, he's like Kevin Durant. He has a handle. He can shoot the 3 with ease, and he can block shots. He's not the biggest body, but he definitely has a lot of potential. He's only 25 years old, and if this is true and the Raptors can pull this off, he's definitely someone that fits the timeline of our core. So I'm gonna start with you, Bravs. What do you feel about bringing Porzingis onto the Raptors?
Yo, I feel like a leprechaun, I feel like a lucky leprechaun if you get a unicorn on the Raptors roster. But that being said, like, it depends on what cost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be giving up our whole, like, a bench just for Porzingis, right?
Yeah.
If we can work some magic where we're giving up like Aaron Baines and like some other small pieces or even like other picks, with this trade, I think I'll be all in. The reason why is because Porzingis is a tall, lanky European 4 or 5, like you said, which we need, which is missing. So he fits. Like I said, he fits what we need 100%. And I also like his attitude. I like the way he fits. He can fit our system.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no problem him coming on board. He will bring the missing pieces as well.
Yeah, toss it to you, Energy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, the fitting is there. We need a center, right? But like, my concern is like what Brav said, like the pieces that we have to give up. Like, it has to match the salary, and the only 2 people I can think about is either Lowry or Norman Powell, right?
Mm.
Those are the 2 guys that would most likely be out.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's for the right cost, like Brav said, I'm down for it. Like, we need that center, right?
I wanted to say Mark Cuban came out and said that this rumor wasn't accurate, but I mean, based on like past trade talks and rumors and stuff like that, someone on the Maverick side had to leak this out to the media for us to even get this as news, right?
100%. Yeah.
And what I wanted to say was, with the Raptors, the way they're playing with the small ball lineup, they're 4-0 right now, and Baines, he did a decent job against Joel Embiid last game, but he would be someone that would be thrown into this package along with probably Kyle Lowry. The way Norman Powell has excelled in his game in the starting role, he looks like he might be a future asset that we might just end up paying and keeping on our team. He's only 28 years old now, or about to turn 28, and I'm referring to Norman Powell, and he also fits our timeline. So can you imagine a lineup of Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Kristaps Porzingis if we're able to pull off a trade like this?
Yeah, 100%.
With the way the Raptors are playing these past few years, their first-round picks haven't been the highest, and the Dallas Mavericks don't have a first-round pick in the upcoming draft, so they probably value the pick a lot more than we would.
For sure.
And because of our track record of being able to get amazing talent, whether it's at the end of the draft or even guys that are undrafted, like Fred VanVleet, Chris Boucher, and stuff like that, our scouting report, I think, will do an amazing job if we do need some talent, in the future. So we don't really need those picks necessarily to say, but would you be okay with throwing a couple picks in there to get a guy that's injury prone with the injury history like Kristaps Porzingis, who's only 25 years old, who fits our team core age-wise?
I think you just answered my question. I'm sorry. I think you just answered your own question. Yeah. I think because of our track record of drafting good players or drafting players who we can train and mold into all-stars, for example, like Freddie, Siakam, and future OG all-star, I think that we have the possibility of, like finding that diamond in the rough. You know what I mean? So I have no problem giving up a draft pick just because, like, I don't think we're in need of a first. I don't think we're in need of a lottery pick who can like who's NBA ready right out of college. I think that we can like find someone like mold them. For example, like Flynn, right? We found him. We're molding him right now, and he's doing pretty well 905. So let's see what his future is like too.
But that's the thing I want to say though. The if we do this trade, we're not going to have that late first round pick because usually the Raptors, the way they've been playing in the regular season, their picks have been like anywhere between like maybe 20 and beyond, right?
It's okay. We're undrafted. Rockford, Illinois.
So another talent like that. I wanted to say one of the trade rumors or one of the trade machine trades that were done by somebody that I actually found was Kyle Lowry, Aaron Baines, a 2021 first round pick, and a 2023 pick swap between us and Dallas for Porzingis and a 2021 second round pick. That's one trade that was floating out there. What are your thoughts on that? I'll start with you.
Yeah, honestly, like since Lowry's already 30, he's 33 right now, right?
No, he's actually turning 35 in March.
Yeah.
He's 30. Oh, really?
He's 34 right now.
Yeah, sorry. So I mean, like he's already getting to that point where he's like close to retiring, and we already have Freddie. Freddie's an established point guard right now, right? He's good on offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I know most Raptors fans don't want to like end the era with Lowry, but I feel like it would work best for us because we need a center. And Porzingis, honestly, like he fits well. He'd fit well with us because he can run both ends. Like he's versatile, right? So like I feel like this trade would work best for us, not for Dallas, but for us mainly because he fits the age gap, like you said.
Braz, before you actually jump in, I want to say, remember when you were referring to how Miles Turner would be that key guy that you'd want to
go for? That's what. Yeah, he's exactly like that. Yeah,
he's like that. He's not the defender Miles Turner is when it comes to blocking shots. He can block shots, but the way Miles Turner is blocking shots this year is on another level.
Yeah.
But in terms of shooting the three, Porzingis is definitely a more flawless 3-point shooter, I'd say, with higher
percentage. Which fits our system.
Yeah, but to add on to that, I know he's injury prone, but I feel like with the medical staff we have and all that, we don't really need that much from him. Like all we need is just blocking shots, shooting the threes, and just rebounding. That's all we need him to do. Like the rest of the time, we can do small ball. Like most of the time.
But he'll have his.
He can still, but yeah, he'll have his night. Like he's still young. He can still. He's an all-star caliber player. Like in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, I go ahead. Really.
No, I completely agree. Like I think Kristaps Porzingis will bring the 3-point element that we ideally have in our squad, right? We love to throw the threes. We love to like we love to sit around the arc, right? So no problem him in our squad. But like I said, or like we were saying, it just depends on the cost, right? I don't want to be giving up an arm and a leg for him.
Yeah, 100%. But what I wanted to say was he is averaging about 21 points and 9 rebounds with the Dallas Mavericks in the games he's played. The only question is, can he sustain that? His health is the only concern because when it mattered most last season in the bubble, when they went up against the Clippers, he got ejected the first game and then he was injured for the rest of the series and he left Doncic by himself, who almost basically won 2 games on his own. Yeah. People do think that with the healthy Porzingis that they could have definitely took it to 7 games, maybe even upset the Clippers in that first round. What do you guys think about that? Do you think he's got that type of offensive talent, in my opinion, for him to?
I think he can. Like, I mean, Kawhi himself, like he was out for a year, right? And look how he turned out. Like he was playing. He didn't get hurt that much, right? Besides the semifinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the conference finals. Sorry, conference finals.
Well, he was kind of hurt
in the.
Yeah. Like he had loan management days. Like he didn't play often, but we could do the same thing with Porzingis. Like he's not the same level as Kawhi, but like if there's days where like when we have back-to-back games, we can sit him out for one of those games. You know?
Yeah, I think loan management rules are a little different right now, right? I think you have a rule now against loan management.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can implement the same Same.
I mean, no, I mean for sure, Porzingis, if he's a long-term investment, because he signed a 5-year deal, $158 million worth of money for when he went to the Dallas Mavericks, they signed him for 158 5-year contract, right? So basically, he's been there for a couple of years now. If we trade it for him now, we still have him for 3 more years, and it'd be an average of 31.6 million per year. And with Giannis off the map, you know, another type of player similar to that, you know, with length, maybe not as athletic, but definitely shoots a three a lot better and shoots free throws way better. And I think he definitely would, you know, I mean, our defense, our guys in our starting lineup can cover for him at most times. He would obviously take our offense to another level.
Yeah.
Because people obviously have to respect his 3-point shot. He's shooting 43% from the field, 35%, I think, from 3. And he's averaging about 2 blocks a game.
He would definitely will spread the floor, 100%.
I feel bad for teams like the Lakers, Philly, because in the 2015 draft, they had a chance to go for him. He was in the same draft as Karl Anthony Towns. Cat went first. D'Angelo went second. Jahlil Okafor went third. And Porzingis went fourth. Imagine the front court of Porzingis and Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. But
honestly, imagine not drafting Jahlil Okafor. You know what I mean? Like, that guy is a bust.
Yeah, 100%.
He had his moments though. Like,
that first year, trust the process, where they were just going to him all the time. He was a clear double machine, but he couldn't make a shot. Like, he didn't have a jumper really. Like, he had a decent jumper, but it wasn't anything that's trustworthy. You couldn't trust him with it. He was only good with, like, you know, under the basket in the paint type shots. And, you know, he's with the Detroit Pistons now. Clearly, his career hasn't panned out the way he wanted it to. But that's just how the league is now, right? It's all about big men who are a lot more skilled, who can shoot the 3. And that's the way to go. And that's the way the Raptors have to go if they want to continue to have success in this league.
But yo, like, when Porzingis came into the league, like when he was on New York, do you think he played way better in New York than he played in Dallas, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. 100%. So hear this trade out, okay? To the trade to Dallas.
Yeah.
New York gave up Porzingis, Trey Burke, Courtney Lee, and Tim Hardaway Jr. And Dallas gave back DeAndre Jordan, Wesley Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., and 2 first-round picks. That has top 10 protection.
Picks? Huh? Who did the 2 first-round picks become?
No. It's 2 first-round picks in 2023.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to say something about that. So New York, at that time, they were all about, you know, getting KD, Kyrie, and hopefully drafting Zion.
Yo, fire Dolan.
I agree.
I don't think you can fire the owner, though.
Fire the owner, NBA.
Get rid of the owner. But basically, like, they wanted to get rid of Porzingis.
Yeah.
Instead of keeping him as a piece, they wanted to get rid of him to create cap space, thinking it was a sure gone conclusion that they were going to get those guys.
Yeah.
And they literally went across the street to the Brooklyn Nets eventually down 100%. The road years later. But Porzingis, you know, they traded him for a person who they thought had potential in Dennis Smith Jr., who they could have just drafted in the draft.
I know, right?
They drafted Frank Ntilikina when they could have drafted Dennis Smith Jr. because he went right after that. And
Frank's terrible.
It's crazy. It's just like, bro, like they're playing really well now. They're getting their shit together, but like at that time they were like a laughing stock in the NBA.
Sorry to cut you off, but real shit, like, since we're on the topic of New York Knicks, I feel like New York Knicks is the most unsuccessful franchise in this past modern era. Just because, like, you have Dolan. You can't have an owner and a GM. Sorry, you can't have an owner running the GM portion of the business. You know what I mean? Because it creates a biased perspective. You know what I mean? Which I'm not a fan of. Look at the Dallas Cowboys of the NFL, right? That owner is rotting the team. Anyways, back to New York. And then the GMs, like, these GMs are making the most stupidest calls and they're making stupid trades, and like now it's reflecting on them, right?
Well, they're going out the fact that their brand is going to attract people, but they're not the same team they used to be. I mean, the last time they made the playoffs, was with Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire, J.R. Smith, and I think they lost to Miami in that first year, I believe, in 2011.
Sure.
Or 2012, I believe. And like Porzingis, you know, he was a young kid, 19-year-old or 18-year-old turning 19, coming out of Latvia.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be their future, but then Phil Jackson ruined everything with Melo, kicking Melo out of New York. And then some meeting went wrong with Porzingis, and then he just demanded a trade, and they got rid of him. Instead of trying to give him a rookie extension and keeping him a restricted free agent after he tore his ACL in 2018, they decided to, you know, wait on it. And then once it became a disgruntled environment for Porzingis, you know, he's like, I'm out of here. And then they traded him to Dallas. And Mark Cuban pulled a heist till this day. I mean, getting a guy to pair with Luka, that's two heists that they pulled to literally get their franchise back intact.
Yeah.
They pulled the heist for Porzingis in 2018. And at the same time,
2019.
2019.
2019.
And they also got the draft pick. They traded with Atlanta for Luka Doncic. They traded Trae Young for Luka on draft night, and they got their core for the future. I still think they're going to stay together, but I mean, if the Raptors can pull a heist like that, Masai, please do your work.
100%. I feel like partially because of the reason why the like free agents like Kevin Durant and stuff didn't go to New York. It's pretty much because of Dolan. Like that man,
100%.
It's like that's the only reason why. If he's not there, everything would be different. To be honest.
100%.
Yeah, you had something to say, Brady?
No, I'm good. I'm just agreeing with your point.
Yeah, one more trade. This one seems ridiculous. My brother laughed at this because I think both of you guys. This is starting five.
What the hell? We're giving 5K. Name the trade. Say it.
Yeah. So this trade is Kyle Lowry, Aaron Baines, Patrick McCaw, DeAndre Bembry, Matt Thomas for Kristaps Porzingis and James Johnson.
My immediate reaction to this was, why are we giving up our bench for two guys, right?
Technically, Patrick McCaw and Matt Thomas really haven't played. DeAndre Bembry just started playing since, like, you know, got solid minutes in recent weeks. Yeah. So it's really, I mean, Baines you want to get rid of since, like, I don't know, since before he even got on the court.
Since he signed the paper.
Yeah. And Kyle Lowry, I mean, he's an expendable piece now because the Raptors trust Fred VanVleet with the keys now. And I feel like with the emergence of Norman Powell playing consistently, I feel like this team has that winning culture still there, whether Lowry's with us or not. Obviously, he's the greatest Raptor of all time, so he has a lot of people's hearts. And it's not a good way to just kick him out like we did with DeMar DeRozan when we get desperate. But if he wants some, I think if there is a way to have a mutual agreement with him where he's willing to part ways so we can get some younger assets, I think we should do it. I think this is the time. No matter what, Lowry will always be a forever Raptor. So, I mean, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
What about you, bros?
No, I'm good with this though, just because I just don't. At the end of the day, I just don't want to do Lowry dirty. You know what I mean? I don't want to do him dirty. But if Lowry is a piece that we to give up, then I guess we have to, right? But I kind of want him to go to Philly, straight up. But
the Philly, like Philadelphia really wants to get Kyle Lowry for some reason. I don't know why they're so obsessed with him.
Yeah, but you don't want to feed your enemies your assets.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, especially division rivals. Right. Kyle Lowry is from Philly, but what do they have? I mean, the only things that are valuable on their team is a couple picks and maybe Seth Curry, who could be a solid shooter for us off the bench.
But we don't need that.
Yeah, I mean, we could use it, but he's not worth giving up Kyle Lowry, though.
Yeah.
Some people are like, yo, Danny Green and a couple picks. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
I want Danny Green back. He left us. Screw it.
I mean, I'd rather him be on other teams and help us win games, you know, like he did the other night. Like, be a low-key Raptor.
He's helping us out still.
Yeah, he did. He's helping us more than he did when he was on our squad. Yeah. And I don't know. I would want to do this trade overall, Porzingis. Okay, the pros and cons to this, let's look at it from Dallas's perspective, right? If we were to do this trade, why would Dallas give up a young talent that's 25 years old for aging Kyle Lowry, other than the fact that maybe his leadership will rub off on Luka and other players on there, and his defensive awareness? I mean, he could be a third piece. I think he's like Steve Nash, where he's aging like fine wine, where he could help a team like a young Dallas Mavericks roster for the next couple of years if they're able to bring in another solid piece and like create another big three. But I feel like Porzingis is supposed to be part of that, not get subtracted from that nucleus.
I think the question you were asking, why would they acquire Lowry for a young Porzingis? I think it's because they want to make Luka more aggressive in the sense that don't get me wrong, Luka is a good point guard, or he is a good defensive player in the sense that he has aggression. But I feel like they want to mold him more so how Lowry plays, right? Get those calls, get those offensive fouls, all that stuff, right? So I think bringing Lowry on board will help teach him, right? Like you said, leadership.
They want another guy who can play make for them, who's also really good off the ball, a good shooter. Luka is like James Harden though. He's way better with the ball than without. And I mean, unless he changes up his game like James Harden kind of did, I don't really see it really making a difference on their roster just for a couple of years. But honestly, if Dallas is willing to do it, in a heartbeat, I'm doing it.
I do see what you said about like the playmaking side, but I feel like for this to even work, it will work, man, like salary wise. But I feel like a third team would be involved in this.
I think a third team would be involved if Norman Powell was part of the trade.
You think so?
Actually,
I don't know,
maybe right with Kyle.
Because I don't see the fit with Kyle Lowry in Dallas. We said the playmaking part because Luka is a good player. Like he's a generation type of player. To be honest, like
this is something I wanted to run by you guys real quick. It just in my head. You said something about 3-team trade, right? So what if it was like Porzingis to Toronto, Lowry to Philly, Tobias to Dallas? I'm just saying like that. Those are all salaries that match, and some other players will obviously be involved. But those are the three main pieces because Philly wants another playmaker, and obviously Lowry's an all-star, definitely an upgrade over Tobias Harris. Even though Tobias is playing amazing under Doc Rivers this season, Dallas would do this trade. Dallas would do this trade because Tobias is, for the most part, healthy. He's still young, maybe not as young as Porzingis, and he can play the 4 and the 3, and us. I mean, we get Porzingis. I think it's a win-win-win situation.
No, it's a win-win. Honestly, it is. But I don't want to, like what all you guys said. I don't want Kyle Lowry to go to Philly. To be honest.
But maybe after the season, but not this season.
Not this season.
That's the thing, though. Like any contender out there that we see, they don't have assets like Philly does. Like Philly has assets that we can get, like Seth Curry or Tobias Harris, guys that are still young, that are still viable pieces for us that we can have for years to come in the future.
What about Miami?
That's another. But what's the difference between Philly?
No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
what do you want to do? Get Kendrick Nunn and Dragic?
No, what if they gave us Tyler Hero?
They're not going to do that.
No way.
I think so.
Tyler Hero's untouchable. I think the only person we could get is Duncan Robinson, but I'd rather pick up a Duncan Robinson like down the road in an undrafted like draft class next season. There's always going to be shooters coming in and out of the draft, right?
For sure. We just got to back to Porzingis though. So what do you think? We should grab him, or what do you think?
Porzingis?
Yeah.
If the rumors are true and Dallas is really shipping him or trying to look at the value for him, I think the Raptors, if they need to part ways with Norman Powell on an expiring contract, I would still do it. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because we could snatch a guy like Victor Oladipo in the offseason if we get a guy like Porzingis.
Man, we don't need Victor Oladipo. Screw him. He's in.
I mean,
I like him. I'm just joking. I like him.
Why were you all in your feelings for a second there, buddy? Everything okay? Victor Oladipo did you dirty recently?
No, I never did. This is fantasy, but that's good. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, you have him on your fantasy?
I do, man.
Oh, that's why.
No, but what I was going to say was, like, Victor Oladipo, DeMarcus Cousins is out. He's released now, right? He got released officially. So the Raptors, get it going. Sign him.
Look at our video. Look at our post video.
Get him on the roster with Aaron Baines so they can share those minutes. And if we can get Porzingis, we can ship out Aaron Baines in a trade. But Oladipo 2021 offseason, he's coming. And any final thoughts about Porzingis in this trade?
That was a good idea though. Like the way they just trade Norm and then hopefully give Oladipo. I didn't think of that. That was good. Yeah.
I mean, He's still young too. He's like he's only 29. He's injury prone, but say these with the medical staff we have.
Yeah,
I think we can keep these
he
guys
would do
healthy.
good. Yeah, those two guys would be good. Like they would stay healthy.
We would not play heavy minutes for them because you got guys like Fred VanVleet and Pascal who could carry the load.
See, right? I kind of want to give up Norman Powell. Just because like, I fell in love with him. The way he's been playing lately and playing as of late. I know the last game was pretty trash, but prior to that, he was playing really well.
When he was coming, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah,
no, it's fine. Go.
No, I was just gonna say Norman Powell, like his trade value at the beginning of the season was pure ass because coming off the bench, he was scoring 10 points, and we're like, bro, like what we were losing too, so it was like his trade value was just going down. But now it's such at a high elite level right now. His stock is so high, people are buying in.
We can get something crazy for him.
Cash in now.
It's like GameStop.
Cash in now and take advantage of it. Because him and Oladipo are only 1 year difference. Oladipo's only a year difference in age. And in the offseason, I know he likes Toronto. So if COVID and everything goes away, hopefully by next season, everyone's back in Toronto. The Scotia Bank Arena is going to be rocking with Porzingis and Oladipo on the roster with Fred VanVleet, Siakam, and OG Anunoby. That's a starting five that makes Raptor fans drool all day and night.
Let's hope. Let's pray. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we can only dream, right? Until it happens. We never thought we could get Kawhi Leonard, but Masai pulled the trigger, and what happened? We won a championship. So let's keep it rolling. Let's keep the ball rolling.
Who said unicorns were not real?
Hopefully we get this one sooner rather than later. But that's going to do it for the podcast. If y'all enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let me know your thoughts on Porzingis and if you'd want to see a guy like that who's had injury histories with the torn ACL and whatnot, come to the Raptors and maybe succeed because there's a lot of potential there. And I want to see what that could translate to in a Raptors uniform. But yeah, we'll be back here later tonight for the Philly games with the Raptors late night podcast, Raptors recap. And yeah, Bravs, you have something to say before we go?
I was going to say, if you want Kristaps Porzingis on our squad, drop a little thumb on the comments, a thumbs up on the comments. Let us know if you want him on our squad. And
hashtag Kristaps to the Raptors.
Let's go.
And Anuj, any final thoughts before you bounce?
I'm just all in for Kristaps. If he's available, just get him.
All right.
But for the right price.
You heard it straight from Anuj. Get him if he's available. Let's go.
All right. Like I said, appreciate everyone for tuning in.
If not him, get DeMarcus. Let's get one of those two guys.
We got both of them, but
please.
Please. All right. Well, like I said, appreciate everyone for tuning in, and we'll be back soon. But till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and please stay safe. Peace.